case study investigation on Kuala Lumpur City Centre. Here are the group members for this assignment.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to Encik Saiful and the panel. My name is Anis Raya binti Khairuddin and I am going to present the first topic of our presentation, that is the introduction. So Kuala Lumpur City Centre KLCC is a multi-purpose development area in Kuala Lumpur and becomes the cultural, financial and economic centre of Kuala Lumpur. It is the fastest growing metropolitan region in Malaysia in terms of economy. The Kuala Lumpur City Centre includes the area bounded within the Golden Triangle, Jalan Ampang and within city centres, WWC. KLCC promote Kuala Lumpur as a location for international organisation and business entities, well known as Technology Advanced City. So the owner and the developer, KLCC Holdings Berhad, who is the largest shareholders in Petroleum Nasional Berhad Petronas, the Malaysian National Petroleum Company is responsible for the development and coordination of new projects undertaken directly or in joint ventures with other firms. My first subtopic is the type of the project. KLCC City Centre were recognized as a mixed-use or the multi-use development project. The project are large-scale project, multi-phase and a master plan redevelopment of a prime city centre. The idea was to create a place where people could work, live, shop and visit, as well as to enjoy leisure and cultural activities in a pleasant environment. The development, together with enhancement of digital capabilities, were to improve the digital lifestyle of inhabitants. As Kuala Lumpur started to portray its position as a centre of trade and business, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, wishes to turn Kuala Lumpur into a world-class city. KLCC then was built as a symbol of advanced city other than to serve as integrated commercial development associated with corporate office buildings, department stores and other leading business, commercial and entertainment use. KLCC City Centres consists of the 88-storey Petronas Twin Towers, the 6-level Suria KLCC Shopping Centre and 20 hectares KLCC Park. The other features of the project includes the 49-storey Menara Maxis, 30-storey Menara ExxonMobil, Complex Daya Bumi and the 32-storey Mandarin Oriental Kuala Lumpur Hotel.
Hi, my name is Nur Nadia Syara binti Azman. As we can see, this is KLCC Project Management Organizational Chart. So the top tier is Owner, Master Planner and also Project Manager. There are few subdivisions under Project Manager, which is Architects, Civil and Structural Engineers, Mechanical Electrical Engineers, Man Contractors and also Subcontractors. So it's time to explain the role of each division in organizational chart. The first one goes to the owner. The owner of this project is KLCC Holdings Berhad. KLCC Holdings Berhad make important decision of this project. They also need to ensure that the project outcome is as expected because they have invested their money for this project. The other responsibility of owner is to provide enough financial fundings in order for the project to be completed on time. In case of changes, the owner need to secure contingencies fund for the project. Next is Master Planner. The role of Master Planner is to plan the whole project development. As an addition, they need to provide scope of work, sketches and also budget of the project. In terms of budget, they are responsible to suggest the suitable budget allotment for this construction project. Not to forget, Master Planner need to align their plans with owner expectation because overall, this project belong to the owner. Next is the Project Manager. The role of Project Manager is to monitor and control project progress. They also need to motivate all parties involved in this construction to achieve objective of owner. They act as middlemen between owner and the contractor. For that, they need to allocate adequate project resources such as human resources and also material resources. A good project manager must possess depth technical knowledge in order for them to manage their construction project. As a continuation, the role of architect is to translate owner's idea into an imaginable design. As we all know, the project is belong to the owner, and the owner have their own desired design of buildings. Therefore, this is where architects need to use their knowledge to translate owner's idea into understandable form, known as architectural drawing. Next is the role of civil and structural engineers. The role of civil engineers varies from one project to another. As structural engineers, they are assigned for design and physical of the buildings. They are also responsible to predict the calculation and load beared by the building. Basically, they are responsible for overall structure of the building. Other than that, they also need to prepare project scheduling to prevent any postpone and also avoid any unwanted situation. The other extension of their job is to decide materials to be used for the construction project and deal with on-site labor matters. They need to ensure the worker is enough to execute the construction project. The second last role is for mechanical and electrical engineers. To be exact, they are in charge of mechanical parts and also electrical components to be installed inside the building. Their job consists of installing, testing, and also operating the electrical and also mechanical components inside the buildings. Their role is important to ensure the comfort and functionality of the occupants and not to forget the safety of the occupants. Lastly, it is time to highlight the main contractor role in construction project. The role of main contractor includes planning, managing, and monitoring the construction progress. The reason why KLCC have more than one main contractor is because it is a large-scale project. It consists up to 8 main contractors because the development is a mixed use with approximately 40.5 hectares. Under main contractor, there are subcontractors. Subcontractors does not directly work for main contractor. They are rather an individual running business based on its own expertise. Subcontractors usually work based on the contract made. It is undeniable that subcontractors have connection with main contractor in order for them to get the job. Working as a subcontractor, they need to follow main contractor's order and conduct work as per request.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Sarah Yasmin binti Nusaidi and I will continue on the project management cycle. There are 5 phases in KLCC project management practice using disruptive technology, which are initiation, planning, execution, controlling, and closing. The first phase of any project is initiation, where problems and opportunities of a business is identified by the team to provide various solutions. It is also known as concept phase or identification phase. The project initiation activities held by KLCC was outlined by 3 processes, which are appointment of project team, project feasibility study, and project design brief. For the appointment of project team, the first process involved was the appointment of a project manager. The project manager gave details on the job description, details on the project, and the terms and conditions involved. Later on, the selection process was held to identify the best project team for KLCC. They eventually negotiate on the terms and conditions for the job scope. And finally, the project manager gave advice on the final appointment. The initiation stage also includes a formal feasibility study to assess the likelihood of each alternative solution in achieving the benefits of the project. It is a development proposal consisting of market analysis, layout plan, and development schedule. It determines whether the project is viable or feasible in the market from technical and business point of view. KLCC comprised an area of 100 acres that hosts the Petronas Twin Towers, Suria KLCC, office buildings, several hotels, and a public park. The construction of Petronas Twin Towers was built upon the request of the previous Prime Minister for a tall and uniquely Malaysian structure. Caesar Pelli proposed a revolutionary twin tower design that links with a bridge to make a symbolic getaway to the concept of New Malaysia. However, the design was rejected by the Prime Minister when he later made improvements on the design by himself in order to add more Islamic designs. After 8 months, Caesar Pelli finally produced a design that pleased everybody with a semicircular scallop design to increase the gross floor area. And that is how KLCC was designed to be a city within a city. Moving on to the planning phase, where proper planning and details which are ready to be executed. Here are the examples for the project planning activities held by KLCC. To ensure the development of KLCC is well planned, all planning activities was undertaken by the project manager starting from the year 1991. Planning for the construction of Petronas Twin Towers was strict and desperately tight. Normally, a massive project like this requires 8 years of construction period, but the Malaysian budget only allows 6 years. According to the project planning of activities, the contract for Petronas Twin Towers went to 2 different construction companies to minimize the amount of risk encountered in the project. It was a great initiative by the Prime Minister to keep construction on track by introducing competition in a working environment. Next is the execution phase. In this phase, deliverables are physically constructed as planned from the planning phase. For KLCC, this phase is approximately 3 years and still growing. This is because the development of KLCC are always expanding, as KLCC Property Holdings Berhad is always on the market to develop something new. However, the execution phase for the Petronas Twin Towers started from 1st March 1993 to 1st March 1996. It was said that delays after the construction deadline for the Petronas Twin Towers will cost up to $700,000 per day, with over $5 million in a week.
Hello, my name is Nabila Azmi.
Next phases involve monitoring and controlling. Project integration management occurs when the project managers need to perform and integrate change control that could affect all of the impacts, including the quality, costing, budget, time taken, resources, risks, and project procurement. The focus will be on the major impact on the final deliverable. It involves the Crisis Management Plan (CMP), where it is not restricted on the KLCCP management but include all the other key aspects of it. Next, project scope management, where it needs to be verified, which focus on the acceptance of the project deliverables. Depth understanding on different validation is needed, which will be resulting into smoother completion of the final project acceptance. For instance, KLCCP management uses routine meta effect, and it is based on the KLCCP structural module. Next, project quality management, where the need to perform quality control in accordance to project deliverables. To attain high quality project, performance reports needs to be produced. The current status of the project will be tracked and updated accordingly. Project Human Resources Management is a complete set of processes that will assist in managing, making arrangement, and leads project teams. There are 8 resource management executive and technical supervisors. The professionals for the project involve the design architect, Adamson Associate, Toronto, Canada, for the property of Petronas Twin Towers and Surya KLCC Shopping Mall in a more detailed development stage. Then the tracking progress of the project is being supervised and the performance will be reported consistently. Furthermore, the communication plays a vital part in controlling the whole process of project deliverables. For instance, using the decision tree analysis. Project risk management involves any unexpected circumstances during the project being delivered. And effective risk management can be one of the contributing factors in avoiding any failure in the project deliverables. Finally, the project procurement management involves all the necessary purchases for the project, where it will be administered in ensuring the adherence to the contract being made. The contract must be administered properly to prevent any discrepancies. In conclusion, monitoring and controlling is one of the process group that requires a lot of attention. These steps will ensure successful in the project deliverables and preventing from any wrong judgment. There are 2 types of activities which involve performing project closure and performing project completion. Performing project closure will start with analyzation or discussion on the learned lessons from the project being held, where it may take several hours. These experiences may be used in getting feedback from the project team on the work done. This will encourage the project team to scrutinize the visibility of the mistakes and success factors made throughout the entire process of the project construction. Next is performing project completion. The completion of all the documentation and paperwork that is needed for formal acceptance. It is also known as the closure of contracts. This will be needed among the main contractors, which are Hazaman Corporation, Ho-Hub, Construction Sdn Bhd, and more. All the contract must be disclosed completely, where all the payments being made is being recorded and have formal acceptance of it. Overall information should be shared between the third parties in getting the confirmation in accordance to the contract that has been signed. For instance, returning or destroying required equipment or materials. Second, accessibility to specialized property, either the licensed or copyrighted. And the third one is provision in releasing holdbacks in producing invoice, warranty relocation, or holdback contract. Furthermore, the project manager will release all the resources involved in the project. Finally, by archiving the artifacts or any documentation related to the project in assistance for the upcoming projects.
Moving on to the disruptive technologies for the development of KLCC. Firstly, they aspire to be smarter by KLCC Smart Precinct. The implementation of this goal is considered as an ongoing process with smarter intuitive decisions. With initiatives from 2019, KLCC intend to focus on creating a more delightful customer experience by using the full potential of technology advancement as an enabler with the KLCC Smart Precinct. They also aspire to enrich the lives of the community towards a digitally smart, secure, and sustainable city for a better lifestyle. The second one is to reduce large-scale energy usage. This strategy was developed to build a responsible organization that is committed to operate and grow in a socially responsible and sustainable development by implementing initiatives to reduce energy consumption, water use, water generation, carbon emission, and zero single-use plastics. The execution of this goal is by addressing climate change risks in all business operations through environmental management. They also increase the employees' awareness and involvement in climate change risks. Suria KLCC also installed the world's largest double-sided rotating LED screen in 2018, together with the media advertising screens and panels to stay connected with the customers. The execution of this digital technology creates great opportunities for branding by leveraging technology and strategic brand partnerships, as it is a highly effective advertising tool to transform a better mall experience.
Next, the Internet of Things. IoT can be defined as the connection between devices and other devices without any human intervention. Network connectivity is the vital components of the IoT applications. KLCC has implemented the digital infrastructure where it allows Wi-Fi on the physical connectivity within the KLCC precinct. Smooth digital user experience will keep them engaged and connected at all times. The implementation is within all the projects, which includes camera for the detection on image recognition, which is powered by AI. System on managing the building, which involve the BIS, Building Information System, from site network towards another bandwidth, and Programmable Logic Controller PLC. Moving on, the Smart Parking System. KLCC Parking Management's Neighborhood KPM introduced the iconic parking applications to the building occupants. Iconic application can be operated through any smartphones available in the country. The features include ticketing payment system, which can be completed online. Furthermore, the application shows the availability of the car park in the property, services provided, and parking rates. In the effort on the implementation of the cashless initiative, KPM has been making an upgrade on the parking entry and each exit terminal with an integrated credit or debit card and touch and go readers for the user's convenience. Other services include the activation of payment via company's website, which can be done online for the seasonal card holder. For Smart Security System, it is based on the 4-year digital transformation roadmap. One of the goals is to be a digitally competent organization by the year 2023. Smart Security System involves the automated number plate recognition (ANPR), where it is being installed at the entry part of the parking. As for the CCTV, it uses face recognition systems, where it will enable the security of the building occupants and preventing from any uneasy UX. The camera use is being powered by the artificial intelligence AI, and the system works by converting the raw information into the data streams via Integrated Command Center (ICC).
Hello, my name is Anis Farhab.
Moving on to the success factor of Kuala Lumpur City Centre. So there are various factors that contribute to it, but only 6 general aspects will be highlighted. The first aspect is planning and design. It is broadly known that Petronas Twin Tower is a national landmark specifically developed for KLCC attraction. The layout has been designed with Islamic motif incorporated to resemble official religion of Malaysia. Besides that, a concert hall known as Philharmonic Orchestra Hall is located at the podium level to link the Petronas Twin Tower. Other than that, Suria KLCC has effectively anchored base of Twin Tower, where it is designed as in crescent shape to give maximum shop frontage. Science Discovery Center were also located on the top of Suria KLCC, which effectively attract tourist attention. Moreover, there are district cooling center that has been planted to tend the building within KLCC. Next aspect is construction process. During the development phase of Kuala Lumpur City Centre, Kuala Lumpur City Hall (DBKL) has decided to support by providing special team in order to accelerate the approval by introducing KLCC Massive Fast Track Development Program. Thus, close interaction within design team and respective statutory bodies is believed to have contributed to the succession of Kuala Lumpur City Centre. The third aspect is accessibility. KLCC is located at the heart of Kuala Lumpur. Thus, it is supported with excellent road network systems such as Jalan Ampang, Jalan Sultan Ismail, and the Akli Highway. Moreover, public transportation such as MRT, LRT, KL monorail, bus and taxi are also available for people to access into the city center. Next is marketing and tenant aspect. It is widely known that from the beginning, Petronas has fully occupied Tower 1 of the Twin Tower. Meanwhile, Tower 2 is rented to a variety of tenants ranges from oil and gas company to financial service companies. Moreover, Suria KLCC has been productive and offers a balanced combination of tenants strategically positioned. The balance of restaurant, shop and services has enhanced the complex success. Apart from the Twin Tower and Suria KLCC, this surrounding area consists of series of buildings for specific end users, thus making marketing easily performed within the city. For management aspect, the property management of Kuala Lumpur City Centre is divided into several divisions to meet the needs and use of KLCC. Many third parties were appointed to provide repairs and maintenance for the upkeep of the facilities. And lastly is facilities and services aspect. As mentioned before, aside from Twin Tower and Suria KLCC, the city are surrounded with mixed-use development and buildings that range from commercial to residential. This development has successfully attracted trading and investors to consider Kuala Lumpur City Centre as their choices for business purpose.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Encik Saiful. My name is Putri Najwa Shamimi binti Syed Jaafar, and today I will explain on the challenges faced within the project management cycle. The first phase of the project management cycle is initiation. Kuala Lumpur City Centre is known as the prestigious world-class profile project with many high expectations from international organizations. With the grand off-site planning, the public has expected the building to be full with well-managed security services and authentic operational communication facilities. In order to construct a functional building, the project management should come out with an idea to ensure the building have an access to control the requirement of the office tenant, the retail tenants, along with the public area of the development. Moreover, it is quite challenging to assign the right parties and group with the right skills to the right roles and duties with the project. There are common that the project initiation problems are consistently linked to the human resource of an organization. Human resource need to play the major role in choosing the best team for the project to be successful and complete. Once the deliberation has been solved, the team will proceed into the planning phase. At this stage, there will be a division of teams into various departments to prepare a schedule for the completion of the project. KLCC was known as a difficult project. There were no any similar project or development in the country that could easily be interpreted as a skyscraping design. Therefore, the person that involved in designing and planning team need to thoroughly explore the detailing alternatives, preparing a various types of models and also mock-ups during the designing stages. They will need to create one special and remarkable design that can be suit the name of Kuala Lumpur City Centre, as it will be a reputable building of Malaysia. On the other hand, the challenges that were facing by the team is when to start the development, they will need to raise more money as a capital in developing the building. As this project involving the world-class reputable building, more money need to be invested in order to finish the project successfully. Next is the execution stage, where all the planning that has been sketched up will be turned into an action. They need to ensure that the project deliver the agreed objective within time, cost, and to the agreed quality. Those three elements need to be balanced in overall scope of the project. Hence, the project management team need to deal with the team that are professional in the latest high technology system. Since the building is developed as a world-class country building, the latest and futuristic system need to be developed. The problem arises when most of the sophisticated and high technology system were need to import from international. Moving on to the next stages, which is controlling and monitoring, the project management need to take an action to make sure all the project will be under control and adjusted on what that need to be done. The common problem arise such as by not having enough laborers due to the overwork on the construction site and also due to the insufficient material use. Poor communication is frustrating that it can lead to a poor performance and also lack of teamwork. The last stage of the project management life cycle is closing. The project management need to do a quality check for the project before any documentation is being signing off and approved by any tenants. Other challenges arise when the developer rush for the next project after this closing process. It is common for the developer to hold many projects at one time, hence they will fail to take a proper care for this project and jump into the next one.
With all of that being said, it can be concluded that the project management team of Kuala Lumpur City Centre is working or striving towards achieving the goals of becoming a smart city through the implementation of disruptive technologies such as IoT, large-scale data storage, rotating LED displays, and smart parking as well as security system within the KLCC building. It can also be observed that the Kuala Lumpur City Centre has succeeded in demonstrating its value in terms of urban restoration as well as serve as a well-established national landmark.
And that is all from us. Thanks for watching.